Right. Hey, it's another week and another race here in League of Ireland for Tier 4. Today we are in the desert of Bahrain for round 8 of this very interesting championship, which has come down to two drivers, which is Aaron McCann and Blue Gunner, both tied for points, 98 each. As always, my name is Josh 6000. Here alongside me is Cav. How are we today?
Good, Josh. Good to be back after a week in France. For me personally, not for the drivers. And really looking forward to this one. As you said, the two lads are locked on 98 points each. So while it can't be decided tonight, certainly one of the lads can get a serious leg up if they get a good result.
It was very interesting for sure. Two lads very equal. Exact same amount of points. You don't often see that in the second last round. But going into the last one in Belgium next week will be very, very exciting race, depending on how this race comes about. So we have Jinx getting out of the way there. I don't think he's going to be the first car. It is an Alfa Romeo, so not Decky Ferg this week again. He's only second out.
He is. He has slipped up. But Aaron McCann is first car out on track, and he's wasting no time in laying down a marker.
For sure, yeah. So Bahrain, quite a tricky track to nail in a good lap, especially through sector 1. Very tricky turn 1, 2, 3. Very tricky to get the throttle down and get the lines perfect. It's quite a long track. So the lads will definitely be going out for a number of laps, and the bankers, I doubt even in Decky Ferg's case, will be his best lap.
We'll see.
But you never know.
Don't speak too early with Decky. You never know. But yeah, lap times around here, strangely enough, for what should be about a 126, 127 lap, they tend to still be very, very tight. There doesn't tend to be much between the times. So let's see how the lads get on. One mistake can cost you a lot of positions around here.
Yeah, that's for sure. Anyway, as we have Aaron McCann just crossing the line, coming up to turn 1. It's a very tricky braking zone to get perfect here, and he brakes quite well, clips that curb just a little bit, onto the throttle nice and early, going over that curb, and onto the second DRS zone here in Bahrain, towards the next corner. Again, a tricky right-hander. You don't want to clip that curb too much, and he doesn't. Takes it quite nicely, a nice smooth lap so far. The track limits on that corner can be quite difficult, and here as well it's quite easy to go very wide. And this downhill right-hander, quite a difficult one to get on the brakes, and this next corner is also quite difficult to get on the brakes. You can find yourself going wide. Aaron McCann doesn't. He brakes quite early, gets on the throttle nicely. Very smooth lap so far for him. He gets onto the DRS, down this next straight, and onto a long left-hander. And now this very famous curb here, you don't want to be touching this as he gets very close to it. We'll see most likely a few cars going into the wall there this evening. If you touch that curb, you're gone pretty much. Now down last part of sector 3 into the last corner he goes, gets on the throttle nice and early. Down he goes onto the DRS. Crosses the line. What can he set as a banker? Aaron McCann, a 28 flat for Aaron McCann. Not a bad lap.
Good banker for Aaron.
Oh, and Decky Ferg. Of course,
in
there he
Decky
goes.
style.
27.2 for Decky Ferg on his banker lap. And this is Killer, who is reserving tonight, gets a 27.2, very close to Decky. His teammate banner for Sam, he gets a 28.7. Catfish Corey with a 28.7 as well. And Jono also on a lap. He's going to be next across the line. Jono looking to take it quite easy. Red Bull very close behind him there. Here he goes. Jono 28.5 on the mediums.
Just behind him to start his lap. Got some nice toe there from Jono.
Griffin did, yeah. Griffin is in the first corner. On for the rest of his lap, and I see an Aston Martin going into the pits there, so obviously not happy with his lap. Darver, it seems. Yeah, invalidated. Maybe the last couple corners. So who do we have now? In the last sector we have Marley in the McLaren. It's looking very pacey these last few races. What can he get for a banker lap? Can he put himself in provisional pole? No, he can't. He's going to get a 130.2.
Surprised with that. Must have had a mistake somewhere around the lap.
Must have, yeah.
Because Marley has, as you said, been very quick since he joined. Probably needs to work on consistency through the races a little bit more, but certainly has really good raw speed.
He does indeed. As we have just one budge tonight, coming across last corner onto the DRS zone. He's going to cross the line. What can Budge get? Budge can get a very impressive 27.9, puts himself in P3. So not a bad lap from Budge there.
No, Budge always tends to qualify somewhere down the order, but his race pace is always really, really strong.
Yeah, very consistent driver. Of course, one of the more experienced drivers out of these lads. A lot of the lads here are quite new to the league.
Absolutely.
Of course, you have some of the lads like Jono, Decky Ferg, Budge. Looking down the order, they're our veterans. They've been here a long time.
And over the course of a championship, that can stamp to you. And if you think of Blue Gunner and the experience he has, will that be a factor in these last two races against Aaron McCann, who's one of our newer drivers?
Yeah, you'll definitely be able to see his patience, I'm sure, throughout this race, as it's a very easy track to overtake, and you want to really time your overtakes and time when you're going to use your ERS, because can be a killer here if you don't have ERS going down that main straight.
Yeah.
You can see yourself getting overtaken as F1 Marley. There we go, there's F1 Marley we know. 27.2, very close to provisional pole. Just a few hundredths of a second off.
They're very strong bankers. The track here does ramp up quite well, so very, very strong. Less than a second off last night's pole already.
Not too bad at all. You have a slow McLaren. Don't think there's an incident though.
He's just slow, is he? How dare you?
Slow tonight.
So Aaron Sully, who still does have a long shot in the championship, he's 35 points behind, but it'd be hard to imagine both Blue and Aaron won't score at least 15 points in the next two races. That'll be providing obviously Aaron as well gets max points in both.
Yeah, I think it's pretty much solidified that either Blue Gunner or Aaron McCann are guaranteed a P2 at least in the championship. Unless, of course, they decide not to race in the next two races, including this one. But yeah, it's going to be a fight for the championship between those two, and it'll be very interesting to watch. As neither of them have set a lap yet. Aaron McCann has, but not a very competitive one. And look who's on the mediums.
Who else?
Who else but Blue Gunner?
He needs an introduction.
Of course, I swear he's doing this on purpose now at this rate.
I think he's loving the attention him and those mediums are getting.
Yeah. Starcross lovers. They cannot be separated.
Oh, absolutely. And in fairness to him, it's been going well. You can't argue with his championship.
No, not at all.
Yeah, coming to the end of his lap now. Where will Blue Gunner post his first lap time?
He has a purple sector too, but I doubt that's correct.
You underestimate the power of the mediums.
Yeah, especially when Blue Gunner's using them. He's been using them so much.
Absolutely.
Probably has a way of using them in time trial as well. Here we go, Blue Gunner getting onto the DRS here, crossing the line. What can he get in the mediums? Very impressive, 27.6. So not a bad lap on those mediums for Blue Gunner. Is he going for a second lap? Possibly. We have a few more cars on track about to finish their laps.
There's roughly a 1.1 delta between the two tyres, so if you were to take even just that off of Blue Gunner's time, really, really impressive.
Yeah,
this stage of qualifying as well, where we still have 9 odd minutes to go.
For sure. Right, we have Decky Ferg and Killer both on laps. Blue Gunner possibly going for a second one.
No, he's turned off the ERS, so he is making his way back. He obviously wants to look after those medium tyres.
Yeah.
Get them back in good shape.
Yeah, for sure, if he's going to be using them.
We've Darver in sector 3, the Aston Martin, just coming up to turn 15 now. And there's a 28.2, so just lands outside of the top 10 in P11. Good effort for Darver.
So who next to cross the line? it might be the Alfa Romeo. Is it Catfish Corey? I think it is Catfish Corey. Fan favourite. Here he comes. He likes an L points finish. Will he be getting into the top 10 tonight in qualifying? Not so far, but it's a 28.4 up in the P14 for Corey.
Yeah, it takes 3/10 off his lap time.
Yeah,
it's a good improvement.
Not a bad improvement at all.
And in fairness to him, he's made really good strides during the season.
He has, yeah. We've definitely seen some improvements. From someone who looked like he was on tier 5 pace. He's definitely shown that he belongs in tier 4.
Absolutely,
I'm sure we'll be seeing him again next season in tier 4.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the greatest parts of watching these lower tiers, is particularly with all the new drivers, like you said, coming in, you get to see some real evolution of some guys over the course of the season.
Yeah, you really do.
And if we look at Kijoko, who's just started a lap on the mediums, it's another driver who really has made huge strides this year, starting in tier 5 and obviously won himself a championship last week, and has looked comfortable in pretty much every tier he's been in, and he's been in them all.
Oh yeah. You name a tier, he's been in them.
Yeah, I don't know what this lad does during the day, but by night he races, and that's all he does. And fair play to him. He has not only been very quick, but very clean up and down the tiers as well.
Yeah, it's not often that you find a quick driver in the lower tiers that's also a clean driver, so it's definitely a rare one, this Kijoko is. But let's see what he can set now in this tier 4 race, see if he can get himself a podium for Haas. It'd be nice to see. Of course, no bias.
Of course, never in this box. So Jono leading the way with a 27 flat.
Yeah,
it's
a really under the radar there. We have Kijoko coming across the last corner on his mediums. Can he beat Blue Gunner's time on the mediums? Blue Gunner sitting in P10 currently, onto the DRS, crossing the line. It's a 28.2 on the mediums for Kijoko, just ahead of Griffin and Catfish Corey.
Blue Gunner is actually on an outlap in the softs now, so he's going to go for a proper run.
Something we haven't talked about in a while. Mayo Man. Here he is on a lap, sitting in P12 currently. He's had a good few podiums this season, so he's not doing too bad for himself. Going into end of sector 2 here.
P4 in the championship for Mayo, and to be honest, capable of an awful lot more. He's been unlucky in some races.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Definitely has good raw speed though.
Man, yeah, doing very well this season.
Drives with the number 69 on his car. We won't say any more about that, but fair play to him. That tells you all you need to know about Mayo.
Oh yeah.
And he improves, P11, so sitting pretty just outside that top 10, and as we are still working off last year's rules, he will have a free choice of tyre from there.
Blue Gunner just in the second sector now on those softs, so we'll definitely see him up the top few places.
Yeah.
Very quick driver, of course, going for the championship himself and Aaron McCann. We'd be hoping to see Aaron McCann further up the grid. With Blue Gunner, and who's that? Danjo.
That's Danjo.
Up on the front row of the grid provisionally. Very, very impressive lap for him. A 27 flat. So you must have given your neighbours some pointers.
Yeah, can someone check those Ferrari engines, because the lads, in fairness to them, have the pace in them, but all season it hasn't really been there. I don't think either of them have had a pole position yet, so it's great to see.
Yeah, it's good to see the lads up in the front row. Ferrari 1-2 so far, but can that be changed now for Blue Gunner? Can he get ahead of them or split them even? Blue Gunner coming across the last corner now. Gets over that curb a good amount. Onto the exit curb a good bit as well. Onto the DRS, crosses the line, and he goes provisional pole by 0.4 of a second, a 26.6 for Blue Gunner. Very impressive lap from him.
Yeah, it takes a second off his medium time, so really good.
Yeah, very impressive lap. Impressive.
So pressure is on Aaron McCann now, because starting in P11, he's going to be a long way behind Blue unless he can get a better lap in. There is still time for one more run.
I think he's just waiting for the optimum time to go out, waiting for the track to that track evolution, waiting for every last second to go out. Hopefully we'll see him go out. Don't want to see him at the back end of the grid with Blue Gunner flying away. We want to see some sort of a fight for the championship.
Yeah.
Here we go, Decky Ferg, last corner, crossing the line. What can he get? He does improve in his times to 26.8, only 2/10 behind pole. So pretty good lap from Decky.
Really good. Unusual for Decky to improve as the track ramps up.
It is indeed. You know, anything can happen.
It usually does. So yeah, Verstappen himself, P2. It's a good start. So this is really interesting now because we have a few lads up there who haven't really started races towards the front this season. So will it stay the same? Everyone will get one more timed run in if they get themselves out on track soon enough.
Yeah, and there he is now, Aaron McCann on an outlap. He's just come out of the pits. Yeah. So can we see him up at the front end of the grid? Hopefully, give Blue Gunner a run for his money today. Blue Gunner looking very quick. He would have been a lot further up in the lead, but a lot of unlucky circumstances for him, and a lot of lucky circumstances. So you know, it all balances out at the end of the day.
Yeah, over the course of a season, it tends to wash itself somewhat cleanly. But yeah, how's your pressure now for Aaron? Because this is a really important lap.
Very, yeah.
The only thing about Bahrain, as you know as well, Josh, overtaking around here, there's opportunities pretty much everywhere, so it's not the end of the world, but he'll want to be closer, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's very easy to get into DRS trains here. Once you lose the DRS, the car ahead, the car behind you is going to fly past you very easily, so you want to try and keep up with the cars ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, overtaking, you can go for it anywhere here. There's not a particular spot that you have to. There are spots that are dodgy, but of course, I'm sure we'll be seeing overtakes everywhere here in this race tonight.
Absolutely.
Aaron McCann just going for his lap. Why don't you bring us on this here, Cav?
Yeah, so down into turn 1, heavy braking, as you said earlier. Most people take it in second gear. Aaron goes for the textbook. And then straight over this curb, very dangerous. Got caught here myself last night on the first lap of the race. Don't do that if anyone's listening. And then down into turn 4, third gear usually, and you want to carry as much speed onto the exit curb. Very easy to lose it there as well. 5, 6 and 7 all come in a batch. If you get the first entrance wrong, you're going to be compromised the whole way through. And now into the heavy braking zone. That's 8, downhill braking, quite easy to lose it. You want to take it in second or third. Now, probably one of the hardest braking zones on the calendar.
No,
and Jinx,
he's after
and
blocking him.
That's a problem. Is Jinx on a lap himself as well? Oh,
no, I don't think he is.
Trouble.
That is going to be a heavy quali ban for him for the next one. And that has ruined Aaron McCann's chances of pole, and it was looking like a very good lap.
He was really tidy around that, and I was also enjoying bringing you around it, so...
Yeah.
That is such a shame.
Very unfortunate.
And he has work to do now in the race, because he will not get another lap in, and he obviously has damage as well. We lost Banner during that sequence of scene as well.
Yeah, very unfortunate. P12, not a bad position to be starting off in. He can opt for the mediums or on the softs if he wants to gain a few positions off the start, but we'll see anyway as we go along. Safety cars will be a factor tonight. Very easy to lose 100%. It, as you know yourself, Cav.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah, we'll definitely be seeing a fair amount of safety cars. Hopefully not too many.
No, but we still have a couple of drivers on improving laps. We've Gaffo just in sector 3 in the Mercedes. Gaffo will be looking to be Blue Gunner's rear gunner, if you like. Nice.
2/10 up in his time, so he is.
Yeah, doing a really good lap so far. Gaffo's another driver we've seen huge improvement in over the course of this season. Obviously got his podium last time I was here in Austria. And done really well. So as he comes to the line, I think he might be in the 26s, and he is P5, so he double jumps both Ferraris.
Yeah, the Ferraris seem to have fallen down the grid a little bit, but P6 and 7 isn't too bad for them. And that's quali. That's everyone done.
Yeah.
So very interesting. Obviously, Blue Gunner paid off. Jinx there to get in Aaron McCann's way. I'd hope not, but yeah, very unfortunate for Aaron. Looking like a very tidy lap, especially through turn 1. It's almost perfect. But yeah, that's that. Just want to bring us down the order.
Absolutely. So, we have Championship protagonist, Blue Gunner on P1 in the Mercedes. Marley in P2. Really good lap from Marley, showing his pace again. Decky Ferg, aka Cat Verstappen, P3. Killer JK stepping up from Tier 5 in P4. Gaffo, Mercedes teammate of Blue Gunner, P5. Jono and Danjo, P6 and 7, the Ferrari boys. Aaron Sully in P8. Jinx in P9. And Banner for Sam rounding out the top 10. Budge in P11. Aaron McCann with a lot of work to do from P12. Rando in P13. Mayo P14. Griffin in P15, Kijoko down in P16, strangely enough, Darver in 17, Catfish Corey, the man himself, in 18, and Aaron Hennessy and Nova have not set times due to quali bans.
Right, so an interesting one. We'll definitely be seeing some positions made from the back from Aaron McCann, and Blue Gunner trying to most likely bridge himself a gap from the lads behind. So, do get your predictions into the chat.
Yeah, and while we're on the subjects of predictions, Josh, do you want to tell everyone what your prediction was in the Tier 3 race last night? Who did you nominate to have issues in Turn 1? And who coincidentally had issues in Turn 1? Well, in fairness, I made it as far as Turn 2 before I surrendered my pole position, but still. We're meant to stick together in this comms box. It's clearly dog eat dog, but however.
I have no comment for that.
Yeah. Disgusted, that's all I can say. Anyways, let's see who makes
we have a
now on tires.
We have a Darvara fan here.
Yeah,
in the chat. So Darvara P1, P1. So who do we have on the medium tire? We have someone opting for the hards, which is Rando. Very interesting. But everybody in the bottom 10 is on the mediums, except for Rando on the hards. Aaron Hennessy and Nova both on the softs. So, interesting.
Yeah, Deg around here is obviously massive, as anyone who knows the track well will understand. So, it's realistically dependent on the time of the safety cars. Anyone's could be on the right tyre here.
Yeah, those hards, you wouldn't even be going onto the hards in this race, would you? You can do a soft to medium, I'm pretty sure.
You can. It's quite tough on Deg. Without safety cars, you will hit the higher percentages in terms of puncture territory, but you can definitely do a soft to medium if you drive without traction, or even if you have a good driving style. But Rando might just feel the hards gives him a lot of options as the race goes on, and safety cars will be likely. As you said yourself, we've a few curbs of death around here as well. Yeah,
of course. The curb turn they're coming up to now, actually, we're going to see a few victims of this. Hopefully no championship contenders, as Blue Gunners steering very clear of that formation lap.
And everyone well behaved on the formation lap, which wasn't the case unfortunately last night. So good to see from the Tier 4 lads, all known their restrictions. And Sully says Aaron Sully to win, so clearly no bias there as usual. The Sully stick together. Spider-Man is predicting Mayo for P1. Again, clearly no bias. He's part of the wise council that Bunsey pulls on in Tier 3. And Maglox has gone from Wheelo. I tell you what, if Wheelo wins this race, fair play to him.
Wheelo in the safety car, of course.
Yeah, maybe so. The nice Aston safety car we'll have out tonight, if we get one, which is likely. So we are just about ready to go.
Last cars, Aaron Hennessy and Nova, both lining up on the grid here, taking their slots. As the anticipation is over now, we'll have a great race underway momentarily. So here we go. We have 5 sets of lights. The lights are blank, the cars are moving, we are a go in Bahrain. It looks like Blue Gunner got a decent start, but compared to F1 Marley, not a great one. Marley is up the inside of him already. So we have Decky, Ferg and Killer both going side by side. Gaffo going through the inside of all 2 of them. And we have Decky Ferg dropping back a little bit and Gaffo gaining a few positions from the back. Yep. Jono staying where he is. And we have Danjo's lost a lot of positions with a Danjo's spin, round. Most likely. Rando as well has spun. We have a virtual safety car already. And LG, Gaffo and Decky seem to be side by side. I don't know which one is ahead of which. I think Gaffo managed to get ahead of him, so an interesting start there. Blue Gunner nearly losing the lead.
Yeah, and Aaron McCann hasn't made any progress, so this has worked really well for Blue Gunner. He has his Mercedes teammate even closer to him now.
Yeah, that's for sure.
And for anyone that is trying the soft to medium strategy, these VSC periods will only help with that.
Yeah, every last VSC safety car is going to help these lads to the max.
So the lads be watching their deltas. Hopefully we don't have any penalties. We've seen a lot of them over the last few weeks.
Yeah,
the boys in the chat are loving Darver up to P14. He's making steady progress. It's always nice when you get someone in the chat who's surely a die-hard fan of one of our new drivers.
Yeah.
And there is Marley, as
just
I called it.
Speak of it. Yeah. That's a pity, is LG Gaffo and Killer. Killer going around the outside of LG Gaffo around the last corner. He's trying to make the move stick as LG Gaffo's. They're both going side by side down the straight. F1 Marley's gonna serve his penalty as Decky Ferg was burned as ERS. Not anymore. He's gonna stay behind these two, wait for a mistake from them. Jono having a look at this action as well, but LG Gaffo through the inside, trying to get this P2. Killer, he has to see the position. Jono going through the inside of Decky Ferg around the outside now. Nearly gets on that curb too much, Decky does.
Yeah, and Jono gets the move done, and he'd be having a look at Killer now. Jono looking very racy around Bahrain.
Yeah, looking very quick as Blue Gunner's already pulled a great gap on his teammate. 2 seconds to LG Gaffo. All thanks to F1 Marley going into the pits. That was that gap. Killer trying to go for a move. LG Gaffo will most likely be holding him up as much as he can for his teammate for the sake of the championship. Let's have a look further down the grid. Nova Ionic and his teammate Nova going past. Mayo Man being respectful, letting him go on the faster tyres. Fair play to Mayo Man there.
And Nova has come from the back of the grid in a lap to get to P12, so up 8 places, one of the big gainers on that opening lap.
Very impressive from him. So Aaron Sully now in the back of Budge. Budge dropping back ever so slightly to the two ahead of him. Jinx going through the inside of Banner for Sam, gets the move done. Banner caught napping there as he went a little bit wide.
Really nice move. And Aaron McCann seems to really be struggling on those mediums so far.
Yeah, as he has Nova right on his gearbox here. Aaron McCann just trying to gain as many positions as he can. He can't seem to gain any. Who's that into the pits? Banner for Sam.
Banner for Sam,
with
yeah.
a bit of damage it seems. Nova going for the move on Aaron McCann here. Aaron McCann possibly going for a move on Griffin. There's contact between the two there. Nova and Aaron McCann. I think that's some damage on Nova's car. I don't think Aaron has any, but Nova definitely got a bit of damage there. Just locked wheels, it seemed, and Nova into the side of into a side pod. Very unfortunate there.
Yeah, and Banner just leaving the pits now with a fresh set of hards and a brand new nose. You called it, Josh.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. But here we have Budge and Aaron Sully having a little scrap here. Aaron McCann possibly going around the outside of Nova. Very tricky part of the track to overtake here as he thinks better of it. Aaron McCann staying in that P11. Nova Ionic hanging on for dear life. I think Nova might have a bit of wing damage though. On his left end plate possibly. We'll have a look as he's dropping back a fair bit from the cars ahead.
Yeah, he seems to be struggling
Aaron
on the
McCann
stairs.
through the inside, he has left end plate damage. Aaron McCann through the inside as Decky Ferg gets the move done on Jono. So very impressive there from Decky Ferg. Jono seems to be backing off a little bit as Darva through on Nova, and Nova will be letting his teammate through, most likely he is.
Yeah, and Jinx gets Jono, takes him up the inside. Ooh, runs a little wide there in the exit of 15.
He does, as
Jono's into the pits.
Yeah,
he has damage,
sure.
So we've lost a lot of lads to damage early on. Dropping down the order.
For P2 here, we have Killer and Gaffo going at it. Turn 1, Gaffo gets a better exit off of turn 1. Up onto this straight, they won't have DRS, or well, Killer won't. Gaffo has it. Gaffo keeping that P2 position, holding up Killer very well for his teammate. A lot of movement. Catfish Corey and Aaron Hennessy having a bit of a battle here, as Catfish Corey's actually in the wall. Catfish Corey has lost his wing on the straight.
Oh wow.
So I don't know how he managed that there, but he's in the wall nonetheless.
He might have lost it off the exit at 3. It's the only thing I can think of.
He could have, yeah.
So yeah, Gaffo playing the perfect teammate game at the moment, doing a full-on Checo Perez.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to sit in P2 now and protect Blue Gunner as much as he can. And Blue Gunner's already managed to foster a small gap for himself there of almost 4 seconds.
Yeah, very impressive. Blue Gunner's pace is looking very good. On the other hand, Aaron McCann struggling a little bit on those mediums, not as quick as he'd want to be. He's up in P10, not a bad position, but it's not the top medium position, as Budge has the top medium position once again, like last week. And we have a yellow flag in Sector 2.
Sector 2,
That's
Rando, is it?
Rando is off. Rando not having the best of races or best of seasons at that. A few mistakes
he's lost
from him.
it through the S curve. But again, we remember Rando is stepping up from Tier 5, so
yeah,
he's had a good set of results in his own tier, but certainly has found stepping up to be another level. As Darver goes past Aaron McCann.
Killer going past LG Gaffo here. Gaffo will have
some
the
internet
DRS.
issues there.
Gaffo will get past Killer once again. And Decky Ferg having a look at this action here. Decky Ferg trying it on Killer. Doesn't quite make it there. Decky Ferg just hanging back, having a look, waiting for mistakes. He's going to pounce when it's time.
Yeah, so Budge in a great position now in P7.
Yeah,
Force of the medium runners. And
very
again,
good
just
with
showing his experience.
Yeah, looking very good with a gap behind him as well. Of 1.7, we have another yellow flag in Sector 2. That's
a McLaren. Is that Marley? It is.
It is Marley, yeah. Don't know if he got any damages. Decky Ferg and Killer having a little battle here as Decky Ferg goes through. Not a usual spot for overtaking, but he gets it done. Very close to the back of Gaffo here. Decky Ferg seems to be flying, so we have another yellow flag. It's McLaren once again. Decky Ferg on the back of LG Gaffo for second place. He will get the DRS down this main straight. And a 3-second time penalty for Marley as we have a Aston Martin off of Darver, I believe. But here we have Decky Ferg on the back of Gaffo. He has a lot of overspeed on him and he's by him on the straight. Will Killer get past Gaffo as well? The Mercedes getting passed by 2 drivers on the one straight. Into turn 1, they're going side by side. Gaffo isn't giving this up easy. As he gets the traction on him, does Killer. As Gaffo is falling back a little bit. He does have the DRS, but Jinx also has the DRS, and he has ERS to burn as well. Will he go through the inside on Gaffo here? No, he won't. He's going to stay behind him in P5. Gaffo keeping that position, a little bit of contact between the two. Manages to stay in P4 just about. Oh, he gets a little bit squirrely off the exit.
Yeah, and Jinx does the switchback and beautifully executed up to P4.
Oh, and that's a McLaren round.
Gaffo
didn't seem to give Aaron Sully enough room. I think it might have been a ambitious dive from the McLaren, but that is him round and Kajoko by him into P7, an impressive P6 for Budge on the mediums.
Yeah, and Aaron Sully now coming back at Griffin, so he gets P8 back. But yeah, up front, Decky now looks to have a little more pace than he originally was able to produce behind Gaffo, so really good position for Decky.
Yeah, let's see if Decky can close this gap to Blue Gunner a little bit more. I think the closest battle on track is Griffin. On the back of Aaron Sully here. Aaron will not have the DRS down the main straight. And that is Killer into the pits. Very early to go in for a pit stop.
He might be two-stopping. We'll wait and see. He could be letting the game's default take him on his way. He's gone for medium, so 22 laps, 23 laps is a long way from here, so he will be stopping again, absolutely.
Yeah, it's the same with Aaron Sully. Onto the mediums for him. Don't think he got a wing change, so it's a two-stop for him as well. And we have LG Gaffo going past Jinx here. Jinx not giving it up easy, but Gaffo manages to get his way past. There's already a big gap between Gaffo and Decky Ferg. Decky managed to get a 2.2 second gap. That gap to Blue Gunner is not closing anytime soon. He's actually opening that gap. 4.5 is going down a little bit. It's going up and down. Seems that Blue Gunner is just bridging that gap ever so slightly each lap.
Yeah, he's still, even with Decky now in free air, he's still knocking out 2 to 3 tenths a lap on that gap, so Blue Gunner really is in a great position here in terms of the championship. Aaron McCann has got himself up to P8 on the mediums, but a lot more work to do still.
I think Aaron Hennessy might have some connection issues as... Jesus, I'm sure Mayo Man jumped out of his skin there.
Yeah. Mayo will be glad to clear him.
Yeah, Mayo Man has lost a lot of time there. Into the gravel, actually.
Yeah, has he damage?
No, I don't. Not Decky Ferg into the pits as well. He's also going for a two-stopper, so there's going to be a lot of two-stoppers tonight.
Yeah, as I said, it is a tough one-stop, and when you consider the pace differential, the two-stop makes a lot of sense, particularly depending on the time of safety cars, so we'll wait and see. The Gunner, though, stays out.
Yeah, he does. He'll probably be going for the one-stop. LG Gaffo is not giving up on this second place here to Jinx. Jinx trying to stay ahead of him, but Gaffo wants that 1-2 for Mercedes. But for how long can Jinx hold on to this? Because the two of them seem to be struggling on their tyres, going a little bit wide and getting squarely on the exit of each corner.
Yeah. We should remind people as well that in the constructors, Mercedes are leading the way, so this is big points for Blue Gunner and Gaffo. They could all but sew it up here tonight.
Jinx is trying to break the slipstream here, going around the outside, a long way around for LG Gaffo. Gets the move done, a very nice move. Leave him the room, and he gets past him. But look at Budge, look at the position he's in now. 1.4 seconds behind the leaders on the mediums.
Yeah, so that crossover has happened, and he's starting to reel in the soft runners.
Very impressive pace from from Budge here. Same with Kajoko. Two lads are looking extremely quick on those mediums. Very impressive race so far from those two lads.
Yeah, and Kajoko has actually reeled Budge in as well, so despite the poor qualifying, he has caught right up on the back.
Yeah, Blue Gunner into the pits he goes, and he will get undercut by most likely Decky Ferg and Killer. Let's see where Decky Ferg is. Will he get out ahead of Blue Gunner? Blue Gunner just coming out of the pit lane now. Decky Ferg coming down the straight. He won't have DRS. Will Blue Gunner manage to stay ahead of him? It doesn't look to be as close as I thought. Blue Gunner past turn 1 now. Decky Ferg hasn't managed to quite undercut him, although he did have nearly a 5-second gap, so to catch up 2 seconds with that. So it is a quite
really
good...
And Blue Gunner already has Mayo Man down the main straight. Mayo keeping out of the championship battle.
Yeah, don't think Mayo Man wants to get in any of that. He has his own race, doesn't need to be battling someone on a different strategy.
Yeah. So if we race back on, as you said, Decky really done well with the undercut there. 1.6 is roughly the gap, so really cut into that 4.7 second lead that he had in the initial stops.
He did indeed, as we have this battle still going on between LG Gaffo and Jinx. Two lads seem to be struggling massively on those softs. I think they're trying to go for a one-stopper, but I don't know if it's going to work for them. Same with Aaron Hennessy also going for a one-stop. Well, we'll see anyway if they'll stay out on this lap or if they'll go in, since they seem to be struggling.
Yeah, so Mercedes on 131 as I said, and then Haas are chasing them on 109 and Alfa Romeo on 103, so still all to play for there.
So in they go. Everyone except for Aaron Hennessy, who are on the softs, are into the pits for mediums, who started on the softs. As Kajoko very close to the back of Budge. Could we see a move here? Down his second DRS straight. He's not going to use any of his ERS. Budge needs to save a bit of his if he wants to use any to defend. Kajoko is most likely going to be waiting for that red light to be flashing to get a move done on Budge.
Yeah.
This is a lot of the first and second straight both have DRS zones, so if you get him done on the first straight, he's going to get you back on the second one. So you need to time your overtakes, as we said in qualifying. You need to save your ERS and use it wisely.
And Griffin going under the radar, but driving a very solid race in P3. Kind of in no man's land from Kajoko, but has now Aaron McCann right on his rear.
He does indeed.
So Blue Gunner gets Aaron Hennessy.
He does, yeah. Decky Ferg just managing to keep up with Blue Gunner that little bit. If Aaron Hennessy can keep in that DRS of Blue Gunner, It could be very good for Decky, but it doesn't look so. See, now Decky Ferg will be wanting to pass Aaron Hennessy as soon as possible. Decky Ferg definitely does have a look at. Does look good to be winning this race for sure. If he can get past Aaron Hennessy here, of course. Here he goes, Decky Ferg down this main straight. Aaron Hennessy will be going into the pits. Decky Ferg
that's perfect
gets
for
the
Decky.
DRS. Gets him done. And he is 1.1 seconds behind Blue Gunner. Will he get the DRS onto this second straight? Let's see now. I don't think he
just missed it, I think, going across the detection point there.
Yeah, no, he didn't. He's going to have to burn his ERS if he wants to get anywhere near. We have his yellow flag.
That's
and that is a
McLaren around again.
Is that F1 Marley once again?
It is indeed.
Yeah. Oh, it's
having
unfortunate for
a
him.
really unfortunate race after starting so well up in P2.
Yeah.
Leading through the first corner.
Yeah, for sure.
Which, it's all gotten away from him.
So Budge leading us in this race, hoping for a safety car in the next few laps. He will be. Well, the last, I'd say, lap 20, he'd be waiting for a safety car. If he wants to go for a one-stopper.
Yeah, Kajoko just nuzzling in behind them. Doesn't seem to be too concerned with closing in on him yet. Building up his ERS. Just starts to burn it as I say that. But certainly has a much greater supply left to him than Budge, who's going to be derating down these two straights.
Yeah, and there we go. He sees him derating. He has the DRS on. Will he use any of his ERS? No, I don't think so. He's being very smart with his ERS management, Kajoko is. Don't think he'll need it, as Budge will be going a lot slower than him after him derating. Through turn 1 and 2 we go. Kajoko will have the DRS as Aaron McCann goes past Griffin. We actually have a fight on our hands here. Griffin trying to hold it around the outside and through the inside in the next corner. Not a lot of room he left him there. Griffin will get him on this next straight. I don't think either of them have DRS here. That's a strange one. But side by side through this right-hander here. Gets on the curve just a little bit. Aaron McCann, Griffin trying to hold it. A bit of wheel banging. But Griffin seems to have this P3 still. Aaron McCann stays in P4.
Yeah, Aaron picking his battles. He knows that he can only really lose it today. He can't win it, so... And look, with Blue Gunner on the back of him now, he is practically a pit stop down, so...
Yeah, Blue Gunner's pace.
They will breeze past him now.
Very, very good. Decky Ferg managing to keep up that gap. 1.1 seconds, so very, very good from Decky Ferg pace-wise. He'll be wanting to try and catch up to the DRS if he can now, because Aaron McCann will definitely get in his way here and slow up Blue Gunner a little bit. Will Decky Ferg get in that 1 second range here? Blue Gunner will get the DRS, so going into the last corner, Decky Ferg will want to hope he gets held up if he wants to catch him. I don't think he's going to get the DRS here. No.
And Aaron is going to have Griffin. This is going to be an easy pass for him.
But will Blue Gunner have the both of them here? Blue Gunner looks as if he's going to get the both of them here. This could be great for his winning chances here. Down the inside, Aaron McCann brakes very, very late. Too late. Outbrakes himself. Through turn 1. The two cars are by him. Oh no, Griffin isn't quite. Comes about back onto the track very dangerously there. Aaron McCann doesn't have the DRS on Griffin. Griffin has it. Aaron McCann through the inside he goes on Griffin. Gets the move done. Griffin down to P5. Aaron McCann P4. Blue Gunner moves his way up into the podium spots.
Yeah, just about on the line from Aaron there. Good hard racing into turn 4, and Decky's having a look now at Griffin, and he'll want to get him as soon as possible. Yeah,
Decky Ferg looks like he's going to get him here. Not a great place for an overtake, but he's going to try and make it stick anyway. Decky Ferg around the outside. That could have been a warning there for Decky Ferg. You want to be careful. Gets on the DRS and the ERS. Oh, Decky Ferg. Yeah, very smart, very intelligent. Yeah, very smart. He doesn't want any scraps with the admins.
Yeah, so Decky now is hemorrhaging time to Blue Gunner. He needs to get past the two cars in front of him ASAP. And we have an Alpine around, is it?
Yeah, on that death curb, as we were talking about. That is our first victim today.
Won't be the last, I wouldn't think. That is a nasty curb, very similar to the one in Hungary. You touch it, you're going around.
So Griffin into the pits after starting on mediums, so he'll be going for a 2-stopper as well. Let's see what tire he's going to opt for here. Most likely the mediums. Yeah, I think the majority. Oh, he's going for a wing change. Oh. So a bit of damage from him. Jinx through the inside of Mayo Man. Mayo Man breaks a bit later than Jinx. Jinx can't manage to get through. He's trying to... Oh, around the outside for Jinx. Off the track a little bit. Mayo Man didn't leave him the room there. Jinx will stay behind, and teammates Darvra and Aaron Hennessy swapping positions.
And without jinxing it, this could be the longest stretch we've had in Tier 4 in a long time without a safety car.
Yeah.
Lads are doing very well, keeping everything facing the right way.
Yeah, indeed. Nobody has retired as of yet, so we still have 20 drivers left. It's quite impressive for the lads.
No track action yet for LOI Wheelo and the safety car.
Yeah, it'd be rare to get out.
So Kajoko leading the way, and he's broken the DRS to Budge, so he's able to let his true pace show now.
Yes, indeed. I think these lads might be going for a 1-stop here. Budge and Kajoko, we'll see anyway. Kajoko's going to stay out. Budge is also going to stay out. So we'll see if they're going to go for a 1-stop. Only 5 more laps to make this 1-stop work, so they could be going for it.
Yeah, if they're going to stop for a 2-stopper, they really should be coming in about this lap, so they'll be committed to one way or the other very shortly. And Decky gets Aaron McCann.
He does. 3.2 seconds behind Blue Gunner though. We have a yellow flag, and that is a Red Bull off. That is Griffin.
Is it Rando? Oh, it's Griffin.
Griffin, the other Red Bull this time. Griffin not having a great day of it today then. P16 on fresh mediums as well. Jono getting the move done on Aaron Sully, and Killer also going through the inside of Aaron Sully. Aaron Sully has lost 2 positions there in the space of 2 corners. Jono seems to be derating along with Killer here. So a lot of lads seem to be low on ERS.
Yeah, a lot have gotten into scraps where they've had the burner to defend, but it means anyone with a good supply is in a great position.
Aaron McCann just about in that DRS range of Decky Ferg. I think Decky will be getting out of it before the main straight. Yeah, he has. Aaron McCann in a little race of his own now, it seems, to go to lap 20 hopefully for him.
So this will be really interesting because we reckon now anyone still out there in the front end has only 1 stop left to make, so Kajoko and Budge at the moment making that 1-stop work. Yeah. If they can take these for another 3-4 laps, and clearly after going around again they're now committed to that.
Yeah, and of course if a safety car comes out it could help them massively in the next couple of laps, because being on the softs could be a great advantage for them.
Yeah. And yeah, Dave, as Ben says there in the chat, we will finish out this season next week in Spa on this current game, and then we will switch to F1 22 for the new season sometime in July, as Kachiga says. So banner for Sam gets Darvra as Darvra goes into the pits.
We have a little battle on our hands here. Aaron Sully and Jono. Jono just about staying ahead of Aaron Sully and trying to make a move work, but Jono's having none of it. Right, F1 Marley, penalty for himself. So that's 6 seconds for Marley and 3 seconds for Darvra. So the Darvra fan we have in the chat won't be very happy.
No, Darvra's race has gotten away from him after a good start. It's great to see lads interacting in the chat though. Some new supporters of our Tier 4 drivers.
Blue Gunner, I think, is just about in the DRS of Budge here.
Yeah, that's just what I was going to say.
Yeah,
he's
Budge
right on the back of him.
Budge trying to break the slipstream just a little bit in the middle of the track. Blue Gunner's not going to burn any of his ERS. He knows he has the pace on Budge with the tyre advantage. Budge just parking his car, trying to not lose, trying to lose as little time as possible to Kajoko ahead. Blue Gunner will breeze past Budge here on the straight. And maybe not. Budge trying it around the outside. Blue Gunner sticks it.
Yeah,
makes it work
it's
into
too much
P2.
traction.
Yeah, Budge doesn't have the tyres for it. He's down to P3 with his pit stop still to go.
So yeah, we'll see now how much further the lads can take these mediums, and will Blue Gunner try to go to the end? It's the big question, along with Decky.
Yeah, Blue Gunner going to the end is going to be a big ask. Another 12 laps, so he'll be going 20. Don't test me with my maths here. What's that?
Go on, Josh, you can
19.
do it. You can do it. Hey! Yeah, so only Blue himself will know how good he is with tyre wear, but it is marginal, and it is a risk.
Yeah, so we've seen Budge though. Budge is 16 laps along with Kajoko. I know Aaron McCann as well, so it's definitely possible. Mayo Man as well, we can't forget him, of course.
Yeah, all the lads doing really well on these long medium stints, and for Aaron McCann it has brought him back well into the contention here from what was a poor start overall.
Yeah, Aaron McCann, P5. Not optimal for Aaron though. Blue Gunner looks like he's going to be extending his lead going into the next race.
Yeah. The next and final race. So,
Final
really
race,
big
yeah.
swing here, yeah. So, a few battles up and down the track. A lot of the field has spread.
The battle between Nova and Griffin here for P14.
Yeah, Nova's up the inside. Should have that done, and he does. And the best thing you can do with a move like that is just wait till after that detection point, which Nova did, although Griffin seems to be faster still in the straight line because Nova's derating. And Griffin has it done. Nova's going to go late on the brakes, and we'll get DRS again, so should be able to see himself through this time into turn 4. He has a slight bit of VRS to burn this time around, and Griffin has to concede. Good racing from Nova, who certainly again is one of the lads who we've seen with great pace this season and just has gotten into trouble at the wrong times in terms of incidents.
Yeah, he's playing it smart with the DRS, grabbing it off Griffin at the right times. Very smart driving by him.
And Blue Gunner is on the back of Kajoko, and is Kajoko gone to the pits? He is, so now let's see how this all shakes out.
So, Budge is going to stay out. Catfish Corey with a penalty. So Blue Gunner takes the lead. Will he be able to go to the end? Will he be able to go for 10 or 11 more laps on these mediums? Time will only tell. Same with Decky Ferg. He's on a lap older than Blue Gunner on those mediums, so I have to keep an eye on those lads.
Until Kajoko put on those red striped Pirellis, we had no soft runners on track. Very unusual.
Yeah.
Not often you see that. So Kajoko has now the fastest tyre on his car, but has a lot of ground to make up as Mayo Man's having a look inside of Jono into turn 4. Has to concede. Jono placing his car really well, and now we'll have the lead right through these S's.
Nova and
As
Banner
Nova
for Sam.
and Banner, yeah. Having a ding dong.
Oh, and that's a Red Bull
Griffin
round.
around.
Griffin,
Yep.
bit over enthusiastic there. Trying to get the move done. Bit impatient, but that's him round. And Nova's true on Banner as well. Up in the P13 for Nova. Quite racy on those mediums.
Yeah. Really good pace. The other thing we have to think about as well, Josh, has anyone taken a risk on underfueling? Because fuel is quite heavy around here, and most of the lads would have expected at least a couple of safety cars.
Yeah, for sure.
As Gaffo is derating with Jinx behind him, so Jinx is going to have a good look at him down the main straight here. This is a track you do not want to be derating on.
Let's Budge into the pits now, and look at the pace of Kajoko. He would have gotten a massive undercut on Budge.
And Jinx is thinking the better of it, but he's going to go again down into turn 4, you would think. He's going to have the DRS here on Gaffo, and surely Gaffo can't defend this one.
Gaffo's derating. He's not using his ERS, is Jinx. Going through the inside, Jinx trying to make the move stick. Gaffo trying to hold it around the outside. Has the traction on him. Gaffo keeping that P4.
Yeah. Surprised Jinx didn't burn it there, but
yeah,
he's in no rush.
Kajoko up into P7 already, because we see Kajoko on the podium here. is looking very quick. Another 9.5 laps to go. On the back of Aaron Sully, Kajoko looking very, very quick, and look at the gap Kajoko got on Budge from that undercut. Jeez, nearly over 7 seconds behind Budge.
It just shows you how much time they're hemorrhaging per lap on the one stop. It does make it very viable to go 2. And Kajoko takes Aaron Sully now, so
not easily though.
Quick progress.
Sully trying to hold it through the inside. Makes the move work. 19 seconds to gain on Blue Gunner if he wants to win. So he has a lot of time to gain. Don't think the win is on, but I think there's definitely a podium on for him if he keeps up this pace. So there's a bit of clean air for Kajoko ahead of him as we have Aaron McCann going into the pits. Very late.
So for his one mandatory stop, so he's going to have the best of those soft tyres for the next 8 laps.
He is indeed. Kajoko is on the back of Jinx now. Jinx and LG Gaffo having a scrap for this last podium position. Gaffo is derating. Jinx is on his ERS here. They're both going to be derating. Gaffo staying in P3. Jinx trying to get by, but they're both losing each other time. And we have a yellow flag. That's
now for Tori, I think.
Mayo Man rounding those brand new softs. So very unfortunate for Mayo. Could have been some good points for him.
Has he damage? He does not. Griffin's into the pits. Griffin on those 5-lap mediums, so he clearly has a problem of some sort.
Yeah.
He's full wing. Is he retiring? No, he's going for softs. Okay.
He's going for the fastest lap. Joko now 2.7 seconds behind Jinx.
Yeah, he's taking 2 seconds out of the lads in the last lap. I know they're battling him, but even still, the overspeed at the moment is crazy. And with yellows in sector 3.
That's that Aaron Sully once again going slow. It is. Aaron Sully.
And in sector 1 with the other McLaren.
Yeah,
they're both having trouble.
Marley and Sully both having an issue.
Marley's race has just gone from bad to worse.
And here we go, Jinx 4P3. Jinx going through the inside of LG Gaffo. Gaffo trying to hold it through turn 1 around the outside. Gaffo looks like he's going to make that move stick for now. Jinx didn't get on the throttle as early as he'd like. He does have more ERS than Gaffo. Gaffo's derating down this straight. Gaffo will stay ahead of him with the DRS.
Yeah, Jinx just seems to lose it out of turn 2 and 3. Just can't get the power down the same way Gaffo can, and Gaffo's able to recover the position every single lap.
Yeah, yes. Yes, indeed. As we have Kajoko 1 second behind Jinx now. Will he get this DRS zone? No, he won't. Nearly does though, and he's into the 1 second range now. 9/10 is the gap between Kajoko and Jinx. 1.5 seconds is the gap between himself and a podium in a tier
Hennessy
higher.
and Nova are racing through the S's, and you cannot go too wide through there.
And Hennessy just about staying ahead of Nova.
And we should give Aaron a good shout out because Aaron's had a tough season, but has certainly made progress and is having a great race today.
Yeah, yes indeed. Speaking of great races, here's Kajoko on the back of Jinx here.
He's in the DRS now, so
what a driver, what a team. Here we go, DRS.
Yeah.
On for Kajoko. And Jinx and Gaffo once again having a battle, but Jinx gets ahead of him before turn 1 this time. Gaffo will have the DRS on Jinx, but Kajoko will have the DRS on Gaffo, so depending on how good of an exit Gaffo gets, Kajoko could be by him, and it looks like he will be. Gaffo is opting to go the outside line. Kajoko doesn't brake as late as he wanted to get past Gaffo. He's playing it safe. He has a lot of laps to get ahead of these boys, and he's not going to take any risky moves. Smart driving by Kajoko.
Yeah, really clever. Shown great maturity on top of his pace in the last few races he's been in.
Yeah, he is indeed. Yeah.
Really good driver. I'd say Gunter really likes having him in the debrief room. I'd say he's one of his favourites at the Haas team.
Here we go. Kajoko on Gaffo here. He's not going to be using any of his ERS, but he's going to use his tyres to his advantage, trying to stay out of the way of Gaffo. He doesn't want any spins here. Going side by side. Very tricky right-hander. Going for a switchback Kajoko. That is a lovely move. You can definitely see the patience there, and that is brilliant from Kajoko. Perfect move from him, and he is now into the 1 second range of Jinx ahead of him. He has a podium in his sights.
Yeah, Kajoko making Gaffo overcommit into the braking zone and then just switch nicely inside him, and he should now have a good run on Jinx, and he'll have this done long before the braking zone. So yeah, brilliant from Kajoko.
Yeah, Kajoko bringing himself up into the podium places. Even better for Kajoko now would be a safety car, and I could see him winning the race, but not looking likely, as we still have 20 drivers in the race. Very, very impressive from the lads. Very clean driving for the most part. So if Aaron McCann and Killer. Aaron McCann getting through turn 1 up into P8 for Aaron McCann. Quite a disappointing race for Aaron. Not where he'd want to be.
Yeah, he hasn't had the pace around here at all, and he's gotten into a couple of scraps at times that weren't ideal for him too.
Yeah, that's for sure.
But he's still scoring points, which is the main thing. And if we look at the constructors, we have Mercedes in P1 and 5, but the two Haas boys doing really well in P2 and 3, so this is going to tighten the gap up.
For Sam gets himself a penalty down the back of the grid, and he actually retires in the pits. Thought that was going to be a safety car there. So 1 retirement in the pits tonight. So 19 out of 20 drivers remaining. As LG Gaffo, he is not giving up on this 4th place to Jinx. Jinx trying to hold on to it. Gaffo will have the DRS with 20% ERS left. And similar ERS for Jinx. 2 of them burning it. They're off of it now. Gaffo on the DRS through turn 1. Is he going to get him before turn 1? He is. Through he goes up into P4. Only for now is Jinx. Looks like he could get him out of the next DRS zone. Banner for Sam getting out of the way of the lads. And he's that's his AI after taking over.
I was gonna say, is that his AI back on track? That's not ideal.
Yeah. No, it isn't. Didn't get in the way too badly though. Side by side through the S's here, as Jinx backs out. Gaffo breaks very late, and Jinx gives way to Gaffo. Gaffo through into P4. We have a yellow flag. That is Griffin, and I think that's on track. Will that be a safety car? Oh my god, it's a safety car. That is
tasty.
Yes, indeed. That brings everything onto the table here. Will Blue Gunner go into the pits and cede position to Decky Ferg and Kajoko, or will he stay out? I'd say the best option for him would be to stay out. Decky Ferg, or not to stay out, sorry, to go into the pits, get fresh medium, or fresh softs, I should say.
He has a gap on track as well, so he definitely can.
Yeah, let's see now. That has that has definitely brought some interest here. If you were asleep, time to wake up for the last couple of laps. Kajoko could be on for a win here. Decky Ferg and Blue Gunner both into the pits, most likely for fresh softs. Blue Gunner gets the red tyres on. Decky Ferg most likely as well. Kajoko, will he come out in the lead here? He is. Into the lead goes Kajoko. He does have 6 lap old softs, but will his pace be able to bring him to the victory? There won't be any DRS for the last few laps, so it will just be raw pace, getting the best exits possible, using your ERS wisely, and just playing your racecraft to your advantage. So Aaron McCann is all of a sudden being brought into this race as well, up into P4. Exactly. So this has brought everyone into the mix here.
Yeah, big mix of tyre ages now, up and down the top 10, and hopefully we should get 2 if not 3 racing laps, so hold on to your seats, folks.
Get some
there's a lot to happen here.
Oh, we have F1 Marley in the way of Decky Ferg and Blue Gunner. Hopefully he just kind of gets off the track, lets Decky Ferg through, so that is not good.
Absolutely, it puts a car between Decky Ferg and Blue, as you said. So.
Oh, there we go, F1 Marley. Very, very well done from him. He is off the track, letting the cars through. Very, very well played from him.
Yeah, so doesn't trust Michael Massey to get him out of the way, so instead he takes matters into his own hands, and Gunther Steiner will be very happy with that from Decky's perspective.
Oh yeah, for sure. That's very good from F1 Marley. He's a lap down, so he gets out of the way of the leaders. Kajoko on 6 lap old softs, Blue Gunner, Decky Ferg both on fresh softs, Aaron McCann on 4 laps and Killer on 5, and the rest down the grid except for a few drivers on fresh softs. So how will those old softs fare for Kajoko? Because as we know, as you've said, tyre wear is very high here around Bahrain, so those tyres will pretty much be on their limit. For Kajoko being 6 laps old, he'll just be trying to hold on to a podium position. Don't think the win is on for him anymore, or it never really was, but it's more on now for him. It's Kajoko, 7 lap old softs now. He'll want to go as late as possible, so Blue Gunner can't get as good of a run on him. But once again, this is great for the championship, great for Aaron McCann, not so great for Blue Gunner. Once again, luck not playing into his hands tonight.
No, so we're on lap 27, even with the safety car coming in now, it's going to be 2 racing laps, so a lot of work for some lads to do in a very short space of time if they want to make the most of the tyres they've put on.
Yeah, it'd be interesting now to see if Blue Gunner can nab the win off of Kajoko. We know Kajoko has good racecraft, he's very tidy with his battling, he doesn't go for anything silly and he doesn't defend in silly ways.
No. And Decky as well will know that Kajoko will make Blue's life hard, but if he does get past him, that you would expect Kajoko to release Decky as well, and hopefully we can get a good scrap between Blue Gunner and Cat Verstappen on the last lap. Yeah,
that Cat will definitely be in the spare room now, away from any pedals.
I'm not sure, I'm starting to think the Cat's driving. Decky hasn't had a race like this all season, he's been on it today, in fairness to him.
Yeah, very good pace. Unfortunately he got gapped by Blue Gunner only because the car's ahead of him on different strategies, but he's been holding a decent steady pace comparing himself to Blue Gunner, who's the championship leader. So it'll be a good position, or a good finish for Decky tonight. Hopefully we get him into the commentary box. Hopefully his Cat doesn't steal his mic this time, or even if we can get Cat Verstappen on the mic.
Yeah, either or.
Either or will do us, yeah. Whoever drove.
And safety car in this lap, so we are going to have 2 laps of racing, folks.
2 laps of racing, maybe that's all we need. See some action here.
Massive in the Drivers' Championship. Aaron McCann sitting in P4. He can see blue at last, but he does have 5 lap old softs, so
he does indeed.
He's going to find it hard to make any progress, you would think, from there without a mistake ahead of him.
So Kajoko trying to warm up his softs, very old softs. He'll want to be trying to catch Blue Gunner off guard as much as possible. He hasn't gone yet, coming into the last corner. Blue Gunner will be on edge here, waiting for him to go. When will we see him go? Kajoko still weaving, trying to get some heat into his tyres, into 3rd gear. And off he goes. He has caught Blue Gunner napping completely. He's caught a lot of people napping. That's Killer. I don't know what's going on here. Aaron McCann having a little scrap with LG Gaffo here. Gaffo seems to have gotten a move done on him already. Through turn 1, through the inside goes Gaffo on the curb a lot. Nova gets himself a penalty. Aaron McCann sees himself in P4 still. Decky Ferg, a little gap forming between him and Blue Gunner. Blue Gunner, right on the back of Kajoko here. Kajoko feeling the pressure going quite wide there compared to Blue Gunner. On those old softs, he'll want to try and keep ahead of him as much as he can. Hold him up, let Decky Ferg try and get a move done. If he can get the win here, it'd be great for Haas.
That's exactly what he's doing.
Because
Decky is right on the back of Blue now again, after losing a bit of traction to him in the first couple of corners. And with yellows, we have someone around. Is that Killer? It is. The Alpine.
It's Killer. Blue Gunner
for him.
Getting past him already. Kajoko down to P2. Decky Ferg trying to have a look at Kajoko here. Kajoko not letting him through. Decky Ferg most likely be frustrated here. Kajoko still in that P2 spot. Blue Gunner after taking the lead, and he will most likely gap the Haas lads here.
But Decky's going to have him here. He has a speed on him. I wonder, does Kajoko know that Decky's running with fresh softs?
Kajoko lets him go.
Brilliant team play.
Very good teamwork there from Kajoko and Decky Ferg. Decky Ferg still in that 1 second range, but of course we won't have DRS. Last lap of the race, very important race from Blue Gunner. It could extend his championship lead from Aaron McCann.
And here goes Gaffo and Aaron McCann. This is going to be important for the championship.
It is indeed. Gaffo, the teammate of Blue Gunner, very, very good move from Gaffo. Blue Gunner will be very happy with him. 2 less points for Aaron McCann if he finishes out like this. With a yellow
and Jinx
flag.
Is on the outside of Aaron McCann as well. He's going to have a look down into 4. He's gone late on the brakes.
Swings it around the outside, very late, outbrakes himself. Aaron McCann.
Too late. Yep.
Still in P5. P5 for Aaron McCann. Still LG Gaffo right in the back of Kajoko here, trying to get a move done. Will he go through the inside? No, Kajoko.
And Aaron has a look.
Oh, LG Gaffo gets himself a 3 second time penalty.
Yeah.
Aaron McCann through the inside. There's contact between the two. There's damage on Aaron McCann. He's the wrong way around. And this has killed his championship title. And it has actually taken it away from him altogether, most likely.
Yeah.
And that is not going to go down well with the lads there. Nova Ionic getting through on Jinx. Nova Ionic. Jinx not making it easy for him. Very close to that death curve there. Staying in that P5 position for Jinx. But here we have Blue Gunner. Decky Ferg not close enough for a move here. Blue Gunner using all of ZRS around the last corner. Here comes Blue Gunner. And he is going to cross the line and he is going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix. And Decky Ferg is just about going to take that fastest lap. So he hasn't won the championship just yet, has Blue Gunner. He is 25 laps or 25 points ahead.
Yeah,
but
that's a really good day for the Haas team as well, in second and third. So
P2 and 3, very, very good.
That gives us a constructors battle in Spa.
Huge, yeah, for sure. We have Marley, 20-second penalty for him. Not a great race for Marley today, but that has pretty much solidified Blue Gunner's championship there. Not quite, technically he hasn't won it. It's still a chance for Aaron McCann to win if Aaron McCann gets first place in Belgium with fastest lap and Blue Gunner doesn't finish at all. But Blue Gunner taking the win, very good race for him. And all the odds against him as well for the last few laps with that safety car did not help him at all, but he managed to fend off Decky Ferg, get ahead of Kajoko and take the victory here in Bahrain. A great race for him and for the Haas boys as well.
Yeah, good result for him.
Right, and that's us for the race today. If you want to go down the order there, Cav.
Yeah, of course. So in P1, extending his lead in the championship now to 25 points is Blue Gunner. We have Decky Ferg in P2 and his Haas teammate Kajoko in P3. Jinx in P4, well done, stepping up from tier 5. Jono in P5. Budge in P6, Gaffo in P7, Mayo Man in P8, his teammate Nova in P9, and Darver rounding out the points in P10. We'll have a very happy man in the chat. P11 for Aaron Hennessy, really good result for Aaron. 12th for Catfish Corey, Dan Joan P13, Aaron McCann P14, really disappointing day for him. Rando P15, Aaron Sully in P16, 17th for Killer, Marley with a whole host of issues today in P18, and then Griffin and Banner for Sam are two retirees in 19th and 20th respectively. So yeah, what a race, and big disappointment for Aaron McCann. You have to feel for him to lose it like that in the last lap.
Yeah, very, very unfortunate for him. Yeah.
So we'll get Blue and Decky and Kajoko in if we can. Hopefully Decky has his mic working this week. Or as you said, the cat. We will interview either.
Yeah, either will do. Whoever drove, preferably. But it looks at that race, looks like the cat drove.
Yeah. The cat's at the wheel. But yeah, great race, and Bahrain always delivers, that's for sure.
Oh yeah. There's a man of the hour.
Absolutely. You do 1 and 3, Josh, and I'll do 2.
For sure.
I'm desperate to interview that cat, to be honest. And you and Blue Gunner then can reminisce about medium tires.
Just wait a few more minutes for the lads to hop in. Kajoko and Decky Ferg, P3 and P2.
Yeah, hopefully we can get them. So Decky we won't have. Let's just see if Kajoko joins us. Will we get Jinx in, Josh? P4 man.
Yeah, why not?
We'll see if we can get a toured interviewee. With the lack of safety cars, we're well ahead of time, so let's see if he wants to join us.
So
just a couple of seconds there, folks.
Yeah, Kajoko. Have a look here. Sending me a message. Yes, no mic. Right. That's great.
Fair enough.
We have one. Do we get Armacan in?
Colourful words. Who was fifth? Jono. Jay, you get loads of words out of Jono. Let's get Jono in. See if Jono's available, and if not, we'll steam ahead with Blue Gunner. Sure, that man will have loads to talk about anyways.
Yeah.
Give the lads another 30 seconds, and if not, we'll steam on. There we go. We have a man.
Okay. Oh, lads. Did we get the wrong invite or something?
No. You're welcome here.
No, Jono. The people have requested your presence, Jono, so we have to give the people what they want in this comms box.
I swear I've murdered no badgers.
No badgers were harmed in the making of this race, yeah. So look, we'll get going, I suppose then. Yeah, absolutely. There was a couple of incidents, and I think the stewards will have a hard enough time after this one, but Jono, talk us through then. Start with your qualifying. You obviously got P6 on the grid. You were top of the pops with Danjo at one stage. How did quali go for you?
Good middle shit end, pretty much. That's like at some point. But nah, it was happy enough with the lap. Should have had a better lap on the last one, but bottled it coming down the hill. So,
yeah.
What can you do?
So you felt you had a little more in it, but overall...
it's like about quarter of a second up.
Right.
Panel parallels, 2/10. There was definitely about 3 or 4 in it. But, look, you can only get the lap times you say, that's it.
No, that's absolutely it. And then race itself, obviously you had a relatively okay start, and then we had a few lads coming through. We had a very settled race in terms of safety cars, but overall, how was it for you?
Yeah, to be honest, I just went safe on the fuel to make sure I'd make it, because this place isn't that heavy on fuel, especially if you're lifting and coasting a bit, and you can get away with it here a lot more than other places. But start was good. Just tried to stay out of trouble. Got myself to the outside of turn 1 as quickly as possible, because I'd rather have that exit stage left than have to go to the little gravel patch on the right hand side if you got pushed wide on the other side of it.
Yeah.
First few laps were alright, made some moves. I think it was back in 4th. And then I can't remember I think it was Killer JK. That was in front. They had to check up to something in front of them, and I didn't have any chance to react, so they tapped the side of the wing and straight away yellow damage. So it's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
Into the pits I go, and we'll go for the long haul and see if we can deal with Joe Mack without the puncher. So, had decent enough pace on the hards. I had one little yoke down to turn 13 with Aaron Sully.
You've seen that, chap.
Oh man, I swear it was just Colin was in the party, Connell and Dan obviously, and it's just like, wait, you fucker, wait, just do it on the DRS straight, and then it did obviously, and then I was just trying to stick with him. Had a little bit of a squirrely moment, fell outside the DRS, and then started just jumping between 1.1 and 1.6, depending on if I fucked up or if he had a slide. And
Yeah.
we were running in tandem. Originally, I was gonna hit for the sauce, but saw the lap counter going down, and the gap to the boys on softs not going down enough to really mirror it. So it's just like, fuck it, we'll try it. See if the wheels fall off, and then I don't know who gifted that safety car, but thank you very much. I think all of it.
Yeah.
Anyone watching probably definitely thanks everyone for the last few laps.
We definitely
I guarantee you there's a few brown pants that are browner than they started this day. That safety car restarted lap one. I think it was Jinx's neck had a fucking lag spike. And went from centre track to racing line. It's like I had to jump on the brakes. I was going, what the fuck? And I think that also then had a knock-on effect. Bulge and
a few others, yeah, it did, yeah.
But that was the thing. You're just saying, oh crap, because there was a few dodgy moments internet-wise, especially when there was packs. But it is what it is. That's online racing.
No, that's it. And look, I suppose overall this season, you've won podium, if I remember correctly. I think you've been in talking to us once before, and obviously some good results like today mixed in about. But overall, I'd say, Jono, and don't let me speak for you, but I'd say you're probably slightly disappointed in the season. I certainly, at the start of the year, had you down as one of the lads I thought would be right up there come the meat and drink at the end of the season. It's
just struggling a bit to get the clean race with no traction on.
Yeah.
But you live and you learn. You can't do much else.
And do you think with no traction now on for this season, obviously going into the new game, do you think that'll start to stand to you as you get more used to it?
Oh, God knows, because new game could be completely different, especially where the trickiest area of traction or having no traction for anyone is also going to be the point the cars are weakest in the new game if they do the physics right and all that. So
yeah, well,
not until we play it, and it'll be a few weeks before we touch it after it releases anyway. I'd never get the new game straight away. I'd give it a week or two to have a nice break.
Good stuff. Well, listen, well done today. And last question, obviously, then going into Belgium next week in Spa. How do you feel around there?
We'll just see what happens. If we get through a race clean without spinning, I'll be a happy man. I know Blue hasn't sounded up tonight because he didn't get the fastest lap, but
correct.
Congrats on another win, kid. You've fucking ran a hell of a season, but
sound like.
Cheers, Jono. Well, on that note, well done to you and well done on a good season. And we'll hand over to you, Josh, for the main man.
Thank you very much. Blue Gunner, the man of the hour. And we can't call you the champion yet, of course. You're 25 points ahead. Basically, you are, but technically not yet. But anyway, today went great for you. Looked like you were running away with it until the last few laps when the safety car came out. What were your thoughts going through there?
When I was counting down the laps with the mediums, I was like, I'm actually could do a one stop here, because I was planning to do a two stopper. But the tyres were still good. But when the safety car came out, I saw where your man crashed, and I was like, oh no, not now. But I thought I'd go down a couple more places. I thought a couple more people might just keep going. But I was lucky enough to slot back into second. The fresh tyres were able to get me past Gajoko on the second last lap.
Yeah. Were you worried at all going into the last few laps? Obviously, after the safety car, were you worried that either Decky or Kajoko could possibly take the win away from you, or were you confident enough you could get past them?
I was confident enough to get past Kajoko, but do it in the right place, not to just do it because I have the fresher tires, but to do it in like a straight coming out of a turn.
Yeah.
But before the safety car, I was easing off on certain corners. Just before just after the first sector and just before the second sector, I was like lifting and coasting just to not spin out because of the dig. But it was a tough battle to stay to keep the gaps and all that, and that overtake there after my first pit stop on Aaron McCann and I can't remember who else. Like we had 3 wide going down the straight.
Yeah. Yeah.
That my heart was in my mouth there.
But yeah, well done to yourself today. It was a great race. You managed your gaps very well. You managed to win quite comfortably. But yeah, that's yourself sorted pretty much for the championship. Obviously, you're happy out with how it went. Looking on to next season, of course, where do you think you see yourself? Do you see yourself still in tier 4? Do you want to jump back up to tier 3?
Like I know there's still a chance and everything, and I like to say unlucky to Aaron McCann, whatever happened towards the end.
Yeah.
But I was looking forward to hopefully even try and get into the last race, which it is like. But no, on to the next season. I don't know what's going to happen with the way the game is.
Yeah,
but,
for sure.
Like I was in tier 3 before, and the luck and the pace just wasn't there. But since I've gone to no traction, I've just become more comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So hopefully that continues in the next game.
Very good, very well, and I think we'll leave it at that for today. Of course, this is the second last race, but it's the last race Cav will be with us this season anyway. He'll be back next season, but this is the last race, and I have to say it was a pleasure commentating with you, Cav.
Likewise, Josh. Thank you very much, and yeah, we'll hopefully be back together in the box next season, please God, with a full season on the new game.
Yeah, for sure. Hopefully we can get that going. But anyway, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next week for Belgium, same time on Monday. Thank you very much for watching once again, and see you later.